go get them again.
Welcome back to another unboxing first impression video on my channel. Today we're taking a trip back in time to a decade that defined a generation, the mid-90s. We're not just exploring the fashion and the music, but the scent that perfectly encapsulated the youthful spirit of the era, Tommy Girl by Tommy Hilfiger. Now, this iconic fragrance is more than just a scent. It's a piece of history with a fascinating story. The nose behind this is the incredibly talented Callis Becker. What makes her connection to this fragrance so special is her unique background. Born in France to Russian parents, Callis was immersed in Russian tradition. This rich heritage played a pivotal role in the creation of Tommy Girl. Now, inspired by her upbringing, particularly the comforting presence of a Russian samovar, a traditional teapot, and her mother's deep love for tea, Callis sought to infuse the fragrance with a sense of warmth, freshness, and of course, a comfort. The result is a scent that, while quintessentially American in its marketing, of course, Tommy Hilfiger, holds a subtle personal nod to its creator's Russian roots. Adding to its significance, Tommy Girl wasn't just another fragrance launch, it was Tommy Hilfiger's debut female scent, a bold and successful step into the world of women's perfumery. It became an instant classic, a rite of passage perhaps for many young women out there, and a defining scent of the 90s, one of the pillars of the 90s for women out there, and men with my Tommy over here. Now, join me as I uncover what makes Tommy Girl a timeless scent, we'll say, that continues to capture hearts and minds even today. So it is a scent that is one of those staples that I actually never smelt it. I never smelt it from what I recall on anybody back in the 90s. I might have, but I never really seen this bottle on someone's shelf or anything like that and went, oh, you're wearing Tommy Girl. So it's going to be interesting to see. It's kind of like that rite of passage that I went in the women's aisle back in the 90s and I was starting to delve into a lot of their, we'll say, cleaner floral scents that really made the 90s what they were. And there's still, like at bargain bins, still great scents to purchase. So I can't wait to delve into this one. And if you know me, here's my collection, first of all, Hilfigers, which is quite small. I thought I had more, but we got True Star. We got, what is this one? The For Men, or EST, a 1985, which doesn't have much of a dent into it. And then, of course, the original Tommy, which was a high school scent of mine. So I can correlate or I can sense the same feeling that I'm sure a lot of women out there that are watching this video are sensing here with the original Tommy. This was in my first 3 fragrances. I think it started with Swiss Army, then I went to CKB, and I think I went to this. This was a Christmas gift from my mom. Not this particular bottle, but the bottle that I had back in high school. And it's funny because it wasn't my signature scent for long, honestly. I think I had it for, I had it for Christmas, and then that year, close to the end of the year, I remember it was soccer. I was on the soccer team, and it was in my gym bag. And what I did is I threw my gym bag on the floor, which obviously in the locker room was a hard floor. Smashed this thing. But I did get a bottle back in the day here just to replace it, a tester here. This is a really old bottle. If you see the old Tommy Hilfiger logo sticker, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that was my my journey with Tommy. So it has a soft spot in my heart a little bit. Like, I value it a little bit more because of my history with Tommy. But I can't wait to smell this one and see how good it is. Now, if you're new here, welcome to the Robezoid channel. I'm your host, Mark. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. It's free, right? Hitting the like button is free as well. And what it does, it brings my videos up for more people to watch. And this is a great channel because I'm not bought and paid for. And if you're new to the YouTube stuff, you're gonna wake up to a whole whole piece of hurt where everything is monetized, everything is free bottles. So you got to be very careful on social media. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube is where you know, marketing is king now. So you got to be careful. And a fragrance like this, now, obviously marketing is nothing for this. So anybody that's reviewing this now or back in the day, most likely didn't get it free or anything like that, but you got to be careful out there. So to my returnees, I know I've been gone for a while. Yeah, there's things in life. The YouTube channel is, if you get to know me, is it'll have its lull points where other things in my life take precedence. The YouTube channel is zero. It's at the bottom of the totem pole. If I am, you know, it was more work-based this time that I had to, you know, I'm buying property and adding to my businesses. So it's kind of like I needed to take that time after work to look over things and just make sure that I'm doing the right thing, which takes away from editing. It takes away from shooting videos and building videos and things like that. So this is a hobby for me. So that's what happens usually. So if you're new here, that's going to happen. There's going to be some points on this channel that it's going to be go, 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 and then it's going to be stop. It's just going to happen, right? So let's talk about this one. Let's unbox it and sniff it. Now let's take a look at the note breakdown and let's see what's in here. In your typical 90s note breakdown, it's full. Let's take a look at the top. We have apple tree blossom, mandarin, camellia, and black currant. So there is, of course, some fruity nuances, some citrus and things like that. Let's go into the mid. We got lemon, honeysuckle, grapefruit, rose, lily, mint, and violet. So very thick mid here. A lot of florals. A lot of uplifting notes, even like grapefruit and lemon, which usually should be at the top. So this is going to be a rather thin fragrance, I'm assuming, just because looking at the note breakdown. And in the base, we have magnolia, jasmine, cedar, sandalwood, and leather. Okay, leather is sticking out like a sore thumb in this note breakdown. But again, some more florals in the back end and some woods. So nothing too crazy here. Nothing, you know, I'm looking at mint. I'm looking at things like honeysuckle, you know, certain notes that'll be interesting. Black currant, leather, of course. Let's see what that has to do. And maybe I won't get in this introduction. You never know. This was released back in 1996, so it's mid-90s. Nose, of course, Calice Becker. And I think this was her first real big hit. So it's interesting to see that she utilized, you know, sometimes, you know, we're talking in the intro about tea and things like that, that was in her mind. And I could see some of these notes perhaps, like there's no actual tea note here, but you can see some things that could be utilized as a tea perhaps. But it is her first big hit, I believe, looking at her resume. Now looking at pricing, this one retails for around $40 USD. So this is, you know, it had its heyday. It's had it for a very long time. It's still selling well, not getting discontinued. It gets flankers, right? At discounters, you're looking at $20 to $40. So it's your real definition of a cheapie and probably well available to a lot of places. So let's delve into it. This is not from my personal collections, for the Decant site, obviously. When you see bottles kind of like this and you're just like, what is he buying? No, this is for the Decant site, and I could see somebody took a big chunk out of it. No, it's a leaky bottle. I could see it in the box there that there's, okay, so this bottle might not even work or spray. The cap is seen better days, but Tommy girl, very simplistic. Yeah, oh, the atomizer's full of quote unquote gunk, I guess. It's dried up fragrance. So we'll see if this actually works. Oh, we'll put it on, we always put it on strip first, then we'll put it on skin, but oh no. No, it works. We're going to get a review out of it. So let's smell Tommy Girl, and let's see if it's iconic like the Issey Miyake's. There's quite a few fragrances in the women's aisle that I've smelt that are fresh and timeless. Basically, they're very well. Oh, that apple blossom is definitely showing it's actually well done. Very fresh. There's some citrus here as well. It's clean. Has a little bit of zest. It has some fruitiness. I am getting the lemon and grapefruit as well. Small pinch of mandarin. So there's a lot of, it's fresh, it's watery. A lot of the citruses and fruity notes are coming out. Black currant, not so much, but I'm getting a lot of the others. Grapefruit, lemon. apple blossom as well. Mandarin is coming through as well. There's like a fresh laundry vibe going on with so many florals. I could see why. A little bit of a minty touch. Now, not herbal. It's just giving you an uplifting minty feel. Nothing super authentic or anything like that. Nice camellia note as well. Camellia is a sweet and soft floral with fruity undertones, and you can get a lot of these fruity undertones. It is a fantasy note, but and camellia is actually mostly paired with tea notes to create an interesting scent profile, which I could see why this was utilized in here. I do get that apple blossom here, which is light, airy, and also has like fruity undertones of the green apple. I'm getting that vibe, but very bright, transparent. Let's put it on skin. Let's put it on skin. And the atomizer is on its last leg. Like, this is why I'm decanting this thing. This bottle's garbage, right? It's done. Yeah. Yeah, that apple blossoms coming through, and you're getting those floral touches as well, but bright, transparent. Oh, that might be the honeysuckle, eh? Is there bergamot in here? Like, that's maybe the Earl Grey that I'm maybe kind of getting. Like a green, uplifting vibe. Like, this ain't a, like, as per the introduction, I was thinking, okay, you know, very tea-like. You can go into that territory if you want, but I'm thinking a lot more fresh, uplifting. But I can see why you'd kind of go into this. Almost has like a verbena, green tea accord kind of thinking, you know, bright, sporty, refreshing, rather than a dense like tea leaf kind of thing. There's a little bit of Lily of the Valley in here, maybe kind of giving out like and jasmine too. So it can kind of go into like this shampoo vibe. I could see that. So at the end of the day, this introduction and this fragrance, yeah, it kind of goes in the, I'm trying to remember the fragrances that I reviewed, but kind of like in the vibe of the 90s, like CK1, Issey Miyake's. I know I reviewed a woman's fragrance that was Donna Karan, New York, which was like a long bottle. I don't remember what it was. 212, remember with the frosted bottles that had 2 bottles inside of a cylinder? This is what this is reminding me of, like in that era where, you know, it's not a masterpiece at this point, but timeless, yeah. Well constructed, yeah. Not super authentic, no, of course not. But it's very, there's no rough edges. Like, there's a lot of modern fragrances that have like kind of these rough edges. Like, it feels like they're trying to make a quick buck, right? And kind of making fragrances that just don't, they're not smooth. This runs smooth. It's well done. And why it's still on the market today, why not? It's just a Swiss Army knife of sorts. Just like your typical daytime scent profile for casual use, office wear, you know, just a refresher after the gym. It's clean, it's fresh, it's uplifting. This is the kind of scent profile you're getting. And it could be the cheapie in your repertoire, where you'd put it in your gym bag and smash it on the floor. But yeah, that's where it's kind of going for a woman. It really is on that side of things. And it can be a Swiss Army knife. It can be your first fragrance that you could wear, dress it up, dress it down. It doesn't really matter. Now, once you get older and once you start getting into this hobby, will this fragrance blow your socks off? Absolutely not. But it will bring back memories for a lot of people. But other people, it'll be just like a good Swiss Army knife. And this is just like Tommy for me, right? It's one that, you know, women would reminisce and value it more because of the memories. But it's part of this watery, floral 90s transition. And most of these, you know, now found in the bargain bin for around 20 or 30 bucks, and you're fine. Right? Like I believe I said that for the DKNY. I said that for the 212, you know, CK1, those type of fragrances in that alley. And I think this one's a little more fruity than those fragrances, but it has the same base of like a very fresh, watery, easy to wear fragrance. It's just, you're fine. For 20, 30 bucks, it probably won't be the bargain bin steal of the day. But if this is your first fragrance, you know, in your young perfume life, I ain't judging. This really, there ain't nothing wrong with this. This is actually pretty solid for a starter. And again, that's from a guy that started, you know, my third bottle was a Tommy Hilfiger fragrance. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, not a bad fragrance. Now that you heard my side of things, I'm really curious to know what you make of this fragrance. Share your thoughts in the comments. Everybody's comment is good on the fragrance, right? You can pan this as much as you want. I don't own any stock in Tommy Hilfiger. You can share your memories with it. You love it. You know you're overrating it because of the memories, of course. Yes, yes. You can say this is a 10 out of 10. I don't mind. I don't think it's a 10, but I think at the bargain bin, you can do so much worse. And I think this would be like a pleasant surprise for somebody that's never smelt it and bought it for 20 bucks and just expecting like a half decent fragrance. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get a half decent fragrance, a Swiss Army knife that you can wear casually during the day at work, things like that. Like your workhorse, where you can have better perfumes with more personality, wearing those on dates and you know, nighttime things and, you know, things like that. Yeah. So I can't wait to see all your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, a great pour fragrance will make a lasting impression. Choose your scent wisely. Thanks for watching YouTube. Have a good one.